I'd like to move to the next section, which is the Marina Phase 1 development opportunity. And Mr. Dana Nottingham is a national development consultant. He's worked in 8 different markets, worked on a variety of very large projects, including over $1 billion worth of economic impact. So with that, Mr. Nottingham.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Am I set? Just advance this.
Yep.
This one? My role today is to assist the team in translating the board's direction into a vision, an end game, and an organizing framework that will guide the development of the RFP and the RFP process. The RFP is a starting point for building a partnership and also really starting the negotiations with a qualified developer that can deliver your dream. This diagram is simple, but it illustrates the intent of this presentation and even of the whole RFP process. First, our number one goal is to build on the strengths of the city and the district. The strengths to the west are Broadway and the neighborhoods. The strengths to the east are the Marina, Peanut Island, the views to the ocean. The strengths to the north are the assets that you have put in place, the event center, the new renovated park, and our strengths to the left, to the south, is the cruise terminal. And I believe, like you, that less is more, okay? And the real intent of this drawing is to illustrate that the RFP process is about drawing the box, drawing the limits, drawing the parameters that you are interested in having delivered, and to look for a developer that will help you think outside the box to take your aspirations and visions to the next level. So I'd like to update you by going through 5 points, quickly go through the opportunity, link back to the January workshop, talk briefly about the original master plan, key assumptions, talk about the master plan reset that we're talking about now, and then just generally describe an outline of what the RFP will include. And Scott and Paul will fill in with more detail. The opportunity. There's 6 bullets here. You've seen them at different times. The top bullet I'll underscore is to expand avenues to opportunity for all of our citizens. And think about it, when you think about the strengths of the site, and I have worked in many cities where they try to construct a story to position their project in the marketplace. Well, your story is a real story. The intercoastal setting is minutes away from the beach. It's a cool place today for all ages. It's located near marine resources. You have a host of nearby attractions, many of them new, marine resources, pro baseball, shopping, dining, entertainment, downtown, of course, your beach. With the addition of the event center, you have made advancements to be a special occasion place in a dramatic waterfront setting. You're located with and are cultivating a market, a niche market for meeting and conferences. And you're located near to industry leaders, which is a platform that can be leveraged to drive more business and conference marketing. And so today, I mean, right now, this is no story. It's a cool place. You have like 15 businesses there where you can do a variety of things, and there's more fun that's on the way. And so a lot of what I do is to help people get on the same page. But when you take what I just said and put it on the same page, and I'm going to read this. In one place, we have marina activities, water recreation, event center, festival park, farmers market, new restaurants. In the immediate area, we have oceanfront, Peanut Island, cruise terminal, fishing and diving, marine industry setting, marine life resources. And in the nearby attractions, we have water parks, professional baseball, downtown shopping, dining, events, and other Florida tourist assets. And that's on one page, and that's real. At the workshop, the workshop was convened around 3 strategic objectives and 5 or 6 success measures to expand the avenues of opportunity and a tax base, to create new investment, business, job opportunities, execute a public-private partnership deal structure, negotiate site control to maximize the district's untapped potential, and to execute a district-wide shared parking strategy. During the discussions, there were several ideas that were kicked around about what, aspirationally, what are the type of things, to be descriptive, that you would be interested in seeing in the project. And there were ideas like a Dave and Buster type operation, which is food and family gaming, waterside seafood, tropical, Florida-themed restaurants, sports bar, grill, small cafes, coffee shops, and entertainment. Right? From a hotel perspective, there was discussion about the potential of a moderately priced hotel for business, local, and visitors located around or within the district. And then entertainment, how do we advance an entertainment program that's locally relevant, regionally appealing, and locally authentic? And so the approach that was discussed there led to the rationale of locating a hotel and what were the benefits of doing that. A hotel, what happened? And this is a visual that shows some of the types of uses that we're talking about, with Mr. Crab just symbolizing local independent restaurants combined with chain restaurants. The rationale for the hotel within the Marina project: to differentiate this project as a walkable mixed-use destination with lodging, appeal to a cross-section of market segments, to introduce moderately priced hotel to advance your goal to improve public access to the waterfront, to reinforce the event center, and to add value by synergizing the event center with a potential hotel. In terms of the type of place and the sense of place we're trying to create, there are also opportunities to work with our local partners. In this case, I'm showcasing the cruise terminal. I mean, one of their marketing taglines is "Your Port." And think about it, this view is a view of me at Marina Village 4 years from now, but it's a view from a balcony, it's a view from the event center terrace, it's a view from a restaurant deck. And I've had a long day having fun in the water, going to business meetings, and I did it all within Marina Village. When we step back and look at where we started with the master plan, again, this diagram comes up because the master plan was based on having an anchor use on Broadway, have anchor restaurant uses at the water's edge, that the CRA would build an event center and improve the marina operations, and that was situated next to the cruise terminal. And that resulted in this type of development strategy as an aspirational strategy for the future. Now, this plan included over 200,000 square feet of retail. And within that, 50,000 square feet of restaurant space. Since that time, a lot has happened. We've learned a lot. Situations have changed, and the market has spoke to us in many different ways. You've completed phase one, subject to the comments I heard today about what's uncompleted. And in terms of the land ownership, the area in the blue is the contiguous land that's owned by the CRA and the city. And the area in the red is owned by Viking and or the city. And so when you think about it, the benefits of even considering a hotel within the district is that the hotel makes the event center stronger, the event center makes the hotel stronger, and they both make the district stronger, and they give you an opportunity because of what you have in place in terms of activities, and quite frankly, who you are and how unique you are as a city, that it all comes together and gives you an opportunity to differentiate yourself in the marketplace. And so 3, 4, 5 years have passed. And I know nationwide, the retail industry is down, I'm pretty sure, and I know that nobody has been beating Scott's door down to develop 200,000 square feet of retail. But consistently, there has been interest in the restaurant space, and more recently, there has been more interest in developing a hotel. So when we think about the industry feedback, and I'm going to read this, the hotel is located when the district advances the CRA's goal to expand public access to the water on public property. The event center, the proposed hotel, convenient, secure parking in a walkable, dramatic setting enhances the guest experience. Moderately priced hotel strengthens the destination brand across market segments. The hotel generates first-time visitors and repeat business from area attractions, events, businesses, and the cruise terminal. An increasing guest length of stay contributes to more spending per visit, word-of-mouth advertising, and the economic benefits that grow with that. And a developer with a strong hospitality, hotel, retail relationships strengthen the customer service focus and brand of Marina Village. And so one of the things that came up when we were discussing the hotel as a element of the reset strategy is that the decision that the developer who is economically engineering this site from a financial perspective and a quality of life perspective, that the developer will frame his or her recommendation about the importance of the hotel and where to position it to contribute to the sense of place that will uniquely define you. So what we did since the workshop, we conceptually illustrated 3 potential hotel options within the district. Again, to translate this idea in something tangible that we could further our discussions. So I'm going to show you 3 illustrations, A, C, and B. Each one of them is a different potential hotel location. The first one is B, but the hotel is located on the south side of the district. And the hotel in this position, you'll see that there's a field of gray parking between the hotel, between the event center. Those dotted boxes are just implying some kind of future development. It could be parking, okay? So that's sort of that's the south alternative. If you were to look at that from an aerial perspective, and this drawing was inspired by sitting at the new restaurant and looking out and seeing that big, beautiful cruise ship. If you look at it, you see the cruise ship in the background, the hotel in front of it, and the bottom right corner in the foreground is the event center. And you're looking at a promenade and a street that fronts the water, which would be a very active environment. The second alternative that we talked about is sort of the what if you place the hotel oriented to the water side. This alternative maximizes the view. We know we're all selling views. Again, the parking field is in the back. And every solution or idea that's being presented is subject to a long-term shared parking strategy that's not represented on any of these drawings, but will be a critical consideration by any developer in developing a firm proposal. The next alternative locates a hotel right across from the event center. The cruise terminal is in the background, the new hotel is in front of it, and the event center is the bottom corner in the foreground. That alternative, just to get your imagination going, would literally feature a direct connection and a crosswalk linking the hotel to the event center. But again, there's a shared parking solution that has to go with this. And this drawing is intended to illustrate the importance of thinking about the development strategy in terms of the vertical integration of uses. So some of the uses that we talked about that we thought would be neat, like the local cafe and little shops and whatever, are uses that potentially could be integrated beneath the hotel to activate that street as you enter, and thus activate two streets, your Waterside Street and this street.
And this one is
So, excuse me,
which one? That's A. What's the alphabet for that? The last one.
C.
that was A.
A.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Just a quick question on A.
Yes, sir.
People who get rooms on the backside of A would be able to see the park, right, at the marina?
The backside of this
Of the hotel.
would be facing the cruise terminal.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Because in fact, you would be looking in that direction. Yeah.
Which one of those drawings would show, do you have one that, about the hotel that would show the, people could see the park from the view?
Which
This
part?
one.
There's a
North.
north of the event center.
No, we don't.
None of them. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
And that doesn't, I mean, we're doing this to get the conversation going, right?
I'm just
And,
asking.
and there are multiple permutations on this. And again, I have to emphasize that we're doing this so that we can be as clear as possible on where you are and where you want to go and what you're interested in. A developer will validate that, take it to the next level, or do some thinking out of the box in order to partner with us. And that's the kind of developer that you want, okay?
Okay.
Are
So-
you looking for feedback at this time on the
I'm
hotel?
almost done, so. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I'll give you my feedback.
Yes, ma'am.
The second rendering that you showed us, which
Well,
would
let
have
me go
been in
back.
the center.
This
No,
one?
No, that was the first, that one.
Right.
Okay, I have a problem with that
Mm-hmm.
one, only because when you're driving down Broadway, it's taking, this hotel would be taking up a lot of the sight line view
Right.
coming down Broadway. And I
Right.
think that we would like to keep the view as open as possible coming
Right.
down Broadway, so people can
Right.
see the water and know that there's
Yes.
something going on there. The hotel, or the first slide that you showed us with the hotel on the south end,
Yes.
Okay, so that hotel I like because right now there's nothing going on the south end, and there's no proposals to put a restaurant on
Right.
the south end. So with that, you could get the hotel closer to the water.
Right.
And what it also does, it gives the patrons a view of the port and, you know, what's going on at Marty Murphy's place, which some people like seeing that. They like
yes.
seeing the boats and the repairs. Some people like that. I like, seriously, I like looking at that.
That makes you
So-
unique. That makes you very unique. You can't
Well,
get that
that's
anywhere
not-
else. I mean,
Exactly, but if you're coming to Riviera Beach, that's what you're looking for, right?
hear
And
you.
that's what we have with all of the marine
yeah.
businesses
And
everything.
notice on this one, it's just implied. This is just a sketch. But you see,
I
but you see the
understand.
walkway. There's a walkway
Right.
implied there to connect you to the
Sure.
hotel.
But what it's also giving you, it's giving you a better view of the inlet,
Okay.
unlike the other
Yes.
ones. And we all know what the view of the inlet is. So I do like that one. The second one I don't like because
Yes.
it is cutting off the sight lines. And then the third one really makes a lot of sense because you are more or less connecting it to the event center,
Right.
which would then probably, you know, regardless of where we put the hotel, you're still going to get activity, but it'll just make it a little easier
Right.
for the people at the event,
Right.
at the, you know, the
Well,
hotel.
when I was at the workshop,
Mm-hmm.
and just to get the conversation going, we had a diagram that we
I
were
remember
talking
that.
from, and it was an event center right across. Okay.
Correct.
When we did a little more analysis, we said, well, let's frame up more than one, because you know there are pros and cons for each. And for this one, what it does, it displaces some, you know, grade parking that you're used to parking to right now. And so there's a special parking solution that have to go with that, which may be a deck parking.
Right. But also, you know, going back to the hotel on the south end, you could,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, you could get that hotel closer to the water because there's nothing else there.
Right.
As with the other hotels, we're hoping to, you know,
You mean you
eventually.
can move it down?
You could move
Yeah.
it down, well, you could move it further east.
Yeah.
Than you can with the
Yes,
other hotels
yes,
because of the restaurant
yes.
pads. But in addition to that, you could put parking behind it. You
Mm-hmm.
still have, you know, depending on how dense the project's gonna be,
Yeah.
you could probably put parking directly west of the hotel.
Right.
And then what you're also doing is you're making it easier for the people coming out of the port, the cruise ship.
Yes.
Now they can just drag
Right,
their luggage right down
Right.
Avenue B
Right.
and, you know, 3 minutes,
Well-
they're at their hotel. And ultimately, right, that's the plan. We're trying to capture those people instead of them going elsewhere, spend a couple of days.
Right. You see that little dotted line in the top right corner in that white
Yes.
space? That implies, because I'm 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm doing this drawing, and I see it, and I say, oh my God, it's right next to the cruise terminal, the
Right.
hotel's right there, and there's potential for shared parking between you and them.
Correct.
And
And
then
we've had
that
this-
little dotted line went in.
Yeah, so we've had that discussion for several years. The port is in desperate need of parking. They don't have the space to build a parking facility, and they don't have the revenue. You know, they don't have the money
Okay.
to build it right now. So
Right.
they've always been interested in a partnership
Right.
with the city on parking. But anyway, you know, when you really look at it, I think you can do a lot more with the hotel on the south end.
I got you. And with that, and building on your thought, when you take a bird's eye view of that street, that can be a really, really unique street. I'm
Correct.
talking about in South Florida.
Correct. I
And so
agree.
you link the hotel to that, and the uses you have on the site, what's nearby, your beach and what you have. See, the thing is, less is more, and because you're small, doesn't mean you can't have drawing bar. If you're small and unique and you have some unique juice to go with it, you'll attract people because people are hungry for that. We know that.
Yeah, and we haven't started building, I believe we have the funding now, but we haven't started building the docks on the south end.
Right.
So again,
Right.
that's something that we can
Right.
incorporate if we, if we decided to go down that path and put something at the south end, then you can incorporate docks and, possibly lease them to the hotel or make it clear that they're
Right.
for, they're day docks or,
Right.
there for a couple days.
Yeah, just in this conversation, this exchange right here, you can imagine a developer value engineering the site
Absolutely.
and weighing those considerations, and also having to grapple with the shared parking solution, because the place that we are describing, okay, in terms of this critical mass of restaurants, a hotel, and let's say a professionally managed events program that you independently or you in partnership with the developer are doing, or they're doing it exclusively, that in addition to your ambassador program, all of the cumulative effect of that is going to draw a whole lot of people if that's sustained.
Yeah,
And there's a
correct.
parking solution that
Right,
goes with
there's a
it.
parking solution, but then if we have the revenue, if we have a commitment from the port, then
Right.
you could go out and bond that commitment, and then we can,
Right.
really get,
Right.
a nice-sized parking garage
Right.
built. Okay,
Thank you.
so anyways, so
Any
that
other,
was just
any
my
other
feedback.
comments or questions? Got one more section. It's a quick one.
Sir, one thing I wanted to add
Yes.
about the hotel.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to see some options as to where we can put the hotel outside of the marina space, right?
Right.
In the marina space, because
Gotcha.
with the limited, and the reason I say that is because with the limited number of activities to spend our disposable cash on in the city of Riviera Beach now, I would like to see if the hotel, it's a small piece of property,
Right.
and I'm just thinking that that would be valuable for activities and outside. If we're very close to the marina, I don't think the patron would not choose it because it's not inside the gates of the marina itself.
Right.
And so that's what I'd like to see, some options on where could we put the marina outside of the gates of the
hotel
marina.
outside of the
I'm
marina.
sorry,
Gotcha.
the hotel
Right.
outside of the gates. And somewhere close by, but somewhere just as pleasing and as attractive to potential patrons.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Madam Chair. Yes, the reason why I asked the question about the hotel closer to the event center, because the event center, the entertainment, attracting national artists, people would be coming over from the Bahamas and everywhere else to see the concerts, and if there's a view of the stage or something from their balcony, that those rooms could be charged a lot more.
Sure.
To have that view. They don't have to go, they can just get on the balcony. So that would definitely
Yeah.
generate a lot of revenue as well.
Right.
And still see the ocean.
Right. I mean, there's
That's just a thought.
there's a
of the box.
cost benefit analysis that a developer would have to do, but the goal is to get people to stay as long to spend and return. And the longer you stay on the property, you spend more money. And so if you're staying overnight, you're spending more money, right? And if it's convenient for you and if it's walkable, then you're more likely to return. The next section is a summary of what would be in the RFP. At the workshop, we talked about execution model. We called it the 5 Ps: positioning, packaging, procurement, phasing, and partnership. And those are the sort of the broad brush elements of the RFP approach. When we step back, recognizing that the RFP is a starting point in the partnership and in the negotiation. There are 5 deal points that we can reasonably expect that will be part of that discussion. And I'm going to read them. 1, land ownership, appraisal, deal structure, clarity. Parking, investment, financing, development, and operations. Public financing available to close any potential private financing gaps. Community benefits agreement requirements and joint roles. Public commitment to sustain current district services. Public commitment to local and regional event programming. And the designated representatives with clear reporting and authority at the executive level and the project level for the developer and for the city. And the way that the RFP will be structured is that we will ask, we are proposing that we would ask a developer to submit a conceptual, submit their qualifications, submit a conceptual development plan, a physical plan, and submit a development budget and submit a proposed land deal. Those would be the broad brush business criteria. Now, the drawing that you have, there would be two conceptual plans that would be presented. The first conceptual plan, which we call the base case, okay? The base case is your land in the red, excluding the Viking property, the yachtsman, okay? That would be the base case. The next scenario, land ownership scenario, would be all the land within the red, including the Viking land, the yachtsman, and the land that's owned by Viking and the CRA. All right. So there would be two conceptual proposals. One proposal, if you were going to proceed without using the yachtsman property, and then another proposal, which you call it the maximum proposal. Now, we have to remember timing now. So you select a short list of developers. You got 1, 2, and 3. You qualify those developers. You rank those developers. And then you would go into a detailed negotiation with the developer that would include the land deal. And at that point in time, if it's the base case, it would be just with you. If it's the maximum case, it would be a triangular negotiation with you and with Viking and with the developer. And we thought that that was a good starting point in terms of structuring it, and at least structuring it so that we could talk to you to get some feedback on it. Yes.
Madam Chair? Go ahead. All right, I have a question. So, tell me about, so it'll be qualifications, their plan, their budget.
Right.
But will they also have to prove to us that they have the funds to move forward
Yes.
with the project?
Yes.
So that's
Scott,
going to be in
and
there,
after-
so we're gonna make
after
that
me-
clear.
Scott is going to go through more detailed description of the selection criteria.
Okay, fine.
But absolutely, you
just-
can't contract with somebody that doesn't have the financial wherewithal. So we'll.
Right, but we've
Get that
had
straight.
people come in and.
No, I
say
understand.
they have hundreds of millions of dollars, and the next thing you know.
I
they don't have
understand.
it. Okay, that's fine, thank you.
And the criteria sets a high bar in terms of the experience and track record of the developer that you want to partner with.
Sure.
And we may not be able to get into all the details today, but they're definitely on Scott's and Paul's screen because we've been talking about it for 2 days.
That's fine, thank you.
Okay. And just to drill down a little bit more, this is a table of contents of the RFP. It's nothing different from what you're used to seeing. The only special thing about this one would be the nuance of 2 conceptual development proposals because of the land ownership circumstance. Okay.